India's history is full of glorious tales of the bravery of our country's sons and daughters who fought valiantly against the British occupation and colonialist policies. Before 1857, Rani Chennamma of Kittur was one of the first female rulers of India who chose to fight for her pride and honor as the British East India Company tried to impose the Doctrine of Lapse in a bid to take over her kingdom. As you may know, the Doctrine of Lapse was a nefarious policy designed by Lord Dalhousie. If an Indian ruler died without leaving behind a male heir, his kingdom would lapse and come under the control of the East India Company. Rani Chennamma refused to take this lying down and put up a strong resistance against the mighty British forces. Her brave and spirited resistance is remembered not just in Karnataka, but shines bright as an episode of unparalleled courage and heroism. So, what makes the tale of Rani Chennamma so inspiring? Let's explore. Rani Chennamma was born on 23rd October 1778 in the Lingayat community in the village of Katki of Belgavi. Since childhood, she was trained in horse riding, archery, and sword fighting. One day, Raja Malassa Raja, on his way to Dholappa Gaudru, heard of a man-eating tiger that had petrified the villagers. The Raja managed to kill the tiger dead with his arrow. But when he reached the site, to his amazement, he saw yet another arrow having already pierced its body and a beautiful girl sitting by its side. He fell in love with her as soon as he saw her. They were soon married. Kittur had risen to extraordinary fame during the reign of Malassa Raja. The new queen of Kittur now ran the administration side by side with her husband. But destiny had something else in mind for the Rani. Raja Malassa Raja died a few years after their marriage. To add to her woes, she also lost her young son. Raja Malassa Raja had a son, Shivalingarudra Sarja, from his first wife, whom Rani Chennamma had raised with much love and care. Being the only male heir, he was crowned king. But to everyone's dismay, Shivalingarudra too succumbed to an illness. On seeing Kittur left with no male heir and a female ruler at the helm of affairs, the British sensed an opportunity. They tried to bribe the high-ranking officials of the Rani to rise up against her by promising them half the kingdom. Rani Chennamma soon realized the malicious intent of the East India Company and decided to adopt a boy named Shivalingappa and declared him to be the next heir to the throne. She took on herself the responsibility of making him proficient in warfare and politics. The East India Company refused to accept this, imposed the Doctrine of Lapse on her kingdom and appointed John Thackeray to take charge of Kittur immediately. Meanwhile, Rani Chennamma wrote to Lieutenant Governor Elphinstone of the Bombay Presidency and tried in vain to plead her case with him. However, the company rejected her plea, took possession of her treasury and cordoned off Kittur by sounding it with an army of 20,000 soldiers and 400 guns. After that, in 1824, a battle broke out. Rani Chennamma was adamant that she would not give in to this evil intent of the British. She raged a fierce counterattack. The British army suffered heavy losses. John Thackeray was killed by Rani's commander, Amatur Balappa, and 2 British officers were taken prisoner of war. Even after winning the war, Rani Chennamma offered to negotiate with the British Commissioner Chaplin. Chaplin agreed that there would be no more war, and in return, all the hostages should be released by the Rani. The Queen accepted these terms, but masters as they were of falsehood and deceit. Chaplin broke his promise and soon returned with a much larger force to attack Kittur. The second battle for Kittur lasted for 12 days. Rani Chennamma fought really hard and her soldiers were ready to lay down their lives to defend the fort. However, 2 of her soldiers betrayed her by mixing the gunpowder used for the cannons with mud and cow dung. Rani Chennamma eventually lost the battle and her kingdom to the East India Company. Sangoli Rayanna was captured and hanged, and Shivalingappa was taken into custody. Rani Chennamma was taken prisoner and was kept behind bars in Belongal Fort, where she spent the last few years of her life. She breathed her last on 21st February 1829 at the age of 50. Rani Chennamma's rebellion against the British and her courage still live on in our memories. Her stories of valor find expression in various plays, folk songs and folk dances, Lavani of Karnataka. Her first success against the British Army is commemorated as Kittur Utsav every year on the 22nd to the 24th of October. The Kittur Palace on Bangalore National Highway and several other memorials remind us of her glorious heritage. National poet Ramdhari Singh Dinkar has said that heroes do not show off their bravery. They only do their work because they know that one day history will remember their legacy. जीवन उनका नहीं युधिष्ठिर जो उससे डरते हैं, वह उनका जो चरण रोक निर्भय होकर लड़ते हैं.